Welcome back to the Victorian Barroom. We have been absent for a while, obviously. We wanted to make sure you all knew we were still out here. But we found out earlier this year that we were going to have to move. It's a bittersweet thing. LaGrange has been our favorite place we ever have lived, I think for both of us, right?
Oh, absolutely. I always say this town was Kentucky's answer to Stars Hollow.
So yeah, leaving was not our first choice, but we did find a wonderful place that we're very excited about. You can check the Instagram link below. Andy's doing a great kind of following our progress. It's a place we do have to do a lot of work to, but that means we also get to make it what we want.
Yeah. If you want to see us be a little more early 20th century, that's called, right now we're calling it 1930 Farmhouse Restoration. Name might change. We would have loved a Victorian, but we also love us an early 20th century craftsman.
Yeah, so this might not even be the last stop. So before we left, we wanted to leave you guys with one more drink. This is going to be quick and easy, and also very Kentucky. This is Henry Clay's Mint Julep from 1847.
And of course, before we dig into today's drink, as always, we'd like to ask you to do us a little favor. If you can hit like on this video, that will tell YouTube that you liked it and therefore it might recommend it to more people. And if you have not already become a subscriber to our channel, it's totally free. Just hit that subscribe red button. And if you are already a subscriber to this channel, thank you so much. We genuinely really do appreciate it, and it really does help us out.
So, in 1847, the Great Compromiser, one of the most significant Kentuckians in history, wrote down how he said you should make a mint julep. Now, he specified that you should use a silver goblet. And at one point, I looked into how much it would cost to get a silver goblet from the 1840s so I could do this absolutely authentically, and I discovered that was not going to happen. So we're just going to use a silver-plated julep cup. So the first thing he says to do, we're just going to get 3 mint leaves. We are going to take a spoon, and we are just going to gently rub them on the inside of the cup. He says do not bruise. Gently little rub, and we are going to just discard those.
You're already getting the aroma.
The next thing we do is we take some cracked ice, and we fill our cup up about halfway. You're going to lose some distance there when you put the bourbon into it. Next, a jigger of bourbon whiskey. He says old bourbon whiskey aged in oak casks. We're going to do about 2 ounces. And you've probably noticed from the show, this is unusual, both to have bourbon in the mint julep in this time in history, and also to really have it mentioned very often in a cocktail at all. Bourbon was not the fashionable product that we think of it being today.
I think today it's gotten a little too fashionable.
Yeah, we could use a little less fashion and a little more access, I think. Yeah. Okay, give that a quick stir. And then for the sugar, this is the easiest of any recipe you'll ever do this. We're going to take a separate vessel, 1 teaspoon of just plain white sugar. And he says specifically to use chilled limestone water. We're going to do a tablespoon because that'll give us enough to work with that sugar. But by using chilled water, it's probably not going to perfectly combine. So don't worry about totally dissolving it, because really, if you really want to dissolve sugar in water, you need more of a room temperature. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of one of the charms of this julep. So just kind of get it moving around, get it starting to combine, and then just let it drift over the top. And I've found that kind of the imperfection of the combination of these ingredients is what makes this one special, is that everything kind of stands out on its own in a way you don't usually have. And so then we're just going to take 3 sprigs of mint. If you're not growing your own mint, it's very easy, much better than anything you're going to get at the grocery store. Grows like a weed. Plant that in there. We will use a straw, and it looks like the straw is really kind of already at the level of where you're going to be smelling that mint, which is where you're going to get a lot of the mint flavor.
To LaGrange. And to the first Victorian Barroom set.
That's right.
Oh, that is a delicious drink.
You know, I think
that's good.
Anymore, if I just want a mint julep, this is my go-to. It's so easy. It's so perfect. Everything's there in just the right amount.
Yes.
It all stands out.
Yeah, I really like a mint julep that actually first of all, has sugar and some of that granulation still staying in there. Like you were saying, it wouldn't fully dissolve. I think that's intentional. I think that's part of the recipe. There's other recipes I like for mint juleps that include where you can taste that granulated sugar really flowing over the ice. Something else people who aren't from Kentucky might not realize, I noticed there's a particular point in that recipe about using limestone water. So any self-respecting, proud Kentuckian will tell you about the water that we have here in Kentucky that is filtered through the local limestone. Some people will argue that that's why, real bourbon can only come from Kentucky. I'm not going to take a side on that one. But, the limestone water here is actually a thing. And so I think it's really interesting that Henry Clay, one of the most famous Kentuckians, was specifically noting that in his mint julep recipe.
Yeah. And of course, I do have to acknowledge, in case he's watching, Alan Bishop is a Hoosier, and he makes the best bourbon anywhere.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not going to weigh in. It is a thing to some people.
One thing we forgot to mention while I was mixing it too, I think we've crossed this bridge on the show before, but anything by Old Bardstown is outstanding by itself for a mint julep. The white label, especially, I find works good. You can see this one's done. It just barely survived a julep party we threw on Derby Day. So that's the last of this.
So we don't have to move it.
Yeah.
It's one less bottle to pack up and move.
One less bottle to move. So there you have it. This is the last time you'll be seeing us on this set. Yeah. Literally, once we cut, we're going to start breaking it down. We're not exactly sure where we're going to rebuild it at the new place, but we are going to rebuild it. We will start shooting again.
Yeah, we have a lot of space. We're really excited. It may look really similar. It may look different. We're not sure yet. We just want to thank everybody who's been on this leg of this journey with us. If you feel so moved as to throw in a cash donation towards the next Victorian Barroom set, we will also have our PayPal link below. We were not fancy enough for Patreon or any of that. But if not, we really appreciate you just always commenting and having been such a great supportive community here.
And so, LaGrange, it's been fun. Thanks for the memories. Hopefully we'll see you down the tracks.